Good evening, I am Michael Pierre.
And I am Suanna Gordon.
And together we bring you EmoNews Nightly Package for July 21, 2026.
In the headlines this evening,
Electoral Office refutes false claims about voter confirmation process.
Dive Dominica Limited hosts Dominica's first Women's Dive Day.
Participants graduate from Thinking for a Change program in Tobago.
Montserrat strengthens marine conservation through community engagement.
Nicaragua's president bans national elections.
And Caribbean Premier League returns to Antigua in August.
These and more stories coming up next. First up in local news, the Electoral Office has dismissed as false claims circulating on social media suggesting that individuals can confirm another person's voter registration by simply presenting that person's documents. In a statement issued on Monday, the office said such claims are completely untrue and cannot occur under the current voter confirmation process. According to the Electoral Office, every elector must be physically present to complete the confirmation process. Officials explain that each applicant's information is entered into the system, a photograph is taken, and an electronic signature is captured using a signature pad. The system will not complete the application unless both the photograph and signature have been recorded. The office stressed that it is impossible for someone to be confirmed in their absence by another individual presenting documents on their behalf. The Electoral Office also assured the public that established procedures are being strictly followed at all confirmation centers, with appropriate supervision and oversight to protect the integrity of the process. JCI West Indies National Vice President Therese Mills completed a very successful tour of Dominica on Sunday. During her visit, courtesy calls were paid to the President of Dominica, Her Excellency Silvani Burton, the CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams, and the Youth Development Division. Mills also took part in a beautification project at the Dominica-China Friendship Hospital and hosted a Leadership in Action workshop at the University of the West Indies Open Campus. The National Vice President spoke to EmoNews about the significance of her visit.
My visit is very important to the movement of JCI Dominica because it's a way in which the national organization bridge the gap between the local and national organization through the assigned officer, where the assigned officer will get to meet stakeholders, potential partners, potential members, and even the members of JCI, where they learn, they listen, they motivate, and provide support that is needed on the ground. And I think this is very important because NGOs play a very important role in the community because the government cannot do it alone. And NGOs like JCI and other NGOs, find different issues that are affecting everyday persons within the society and find ways to provide solutions. So I think my visit is very important, and I can say that I've been enjoying my time so far with the members, the stakeholders that I've met, the sponsors that I've met so far. So I think it's very important.
Mills said that she hoped to meet as many potential partners to share the work of JCI and determine how the organization can be supported.
What I would hope to achieve during my visit is a very short visit is that I get to meet as much members, potential members, stakeholders, and partners as much as possible to share what it is JCI is all about. A lot of times we hear, what is JCI? What does JCI stand for? I want to spread the word about what is JCI, what we do, and how you could support our local, our national, or even our international organization. JCI is in about 100 countries around the world. And the more people we have to get involved, I think the world will be a better place. So it's my goal to ensure that I speak to as much persons as much as possible just to share the goodness of what we do here in JCI and how it provides development opportunities for young people, young individuals, so that they too could take up space within their respective communities.
She also spoke about the response to the leadership workshop.
The response for the Mastering Leadership training I did yesterday was superb. I actually thought about the training for a while before I actually created it, and I wanted to tailor it to the members of JCI Dominica, and I utilized a team this year, which is It Only Takes a Spark, to really put the power on. It just takes us to make that first move, to make that first step, so that we can ignite change in the world. If we want to see change in the world, it takes me, you, and everyone around to start that first step so that we could ignite that change within ourselves and within the world on a whole. And I am very pleased to see how members took it, how they were engaged, how they asked a lot of questions, how they were eager. So I'm very happy about that.
Mills said she hopes to continue mentorship and service in the organization.
What's next for me on JCI West Indies? I want to continue my work in mentoring other like-minded individuals. I want to continue my work in training because it is truly my passion. I want to continue to serving wherever I am called to serve, and I will always be there to serve wherever I'm called to serve because JCI has done so much for me. And as I always say, it's important that I pay it forward because the organization has poured into me. I just want to pour into other individuals who have the passion, who have the commitment that it takes to ensure that the organization continues to grow from strength to strength and from year after year.
The 4th annual Put Pen to Paper Songwriting Workshop, organized by Booyah superstars Shirley of Signal Band and the Trilogy, got underway yesterday at the University of the West Indies Global Campus. Shirley, who is the lead singer of Dominica's youngest and baddest Booyah band, says that he is satisfied with the response to the workshop each year.
Yeah, Put Pen to Paper 2026, Trilogy and myself, definitely honored to host again and, to just be able to pass on some of the knowledge that we have been able to gather over the past couple of years through experience, through learning ourselves. We feel like, the younger generation, they have a very keen interest in Booyah right now. Super excited about the genre. They want to learn, they want to do it, they want to be artists, they want to be producers. So we feel like, we have something to offer. And, day 2 was just completed and we had an awesome day. So far we've been looking at, an overview of Calypso, Booyah. We've been understanding literary devices and how those techniques can be used in songwriting. We also did a bit of production with Dada Music. So big up Dada Manufacture, big up Dada one time. For coming and explaining his journey in the music as well, but allowing the kids to produce with him. And so far we've just been writing, producing, and we hope to produce, if not one hit, a couple hits. VTP, Put Pen to Paper, Shirley and Trilogy, signing out.
As part of its commitment to stakeholder engagement, voter education, and public dialogue on Dominica's electoral process, the Dominica Business Forum, Inc., DBF, has invited all candidates in the Rosendorf constituency by-election to participate in a public discussion to be held on Wednesday, 29 July 2026 at 7 p.m. at the Forkole Community Center. President of the DBF, Daryl Bob, explains the reason for the public discussion.
The Dominica Business Forum, Inc. advises the general public of its plans for a public discussion between the Labour Party and UWP candidates on Wednesday, July 29th from 7 p.m. at the Forkole Community Center. While the Dominica Business Forum, Inc. is the host of this event, the event will be moderated by 2 independent individuals who whose names we will submit subsequently. The Dominica Business Forum, Inc. believes the discussion will benefit both constituents and the wider public by providing an opportunity for meaningful, informative, and constructive engagement. The forum's experience in hosting national consultations on electoral reform with Sir Dennis Byron, reviewing electoral legislation with the government and civil society organizations, and convening a recent public discussion with the Chief Elections Officer demonstrates its capacity to facilitate public forums with maturity and professionalism. We do hope that the Dominica Business Forum, Inc. receives the usual support from the public as we work towards creating a conducive environment for fair elections in Dominica that is based on credible first-hand information, a critical element in the decision-making processes for an electorate in any national elections in any country. This opportunity allows the electorate to develop a closer understanding of the candidates' vision in developing their societies. All media houses are invited to attend. They are welcome to broadcast or live stream the event. The public is hereby reminded that your participation in this event is very important to the development of your communities and your country by extension. You are asked to come out and participate in the event by way of asking questions. Ask your questions with respect for both candidates as they share the information that will help you in your decision-making processes. The Dominica Business Forum, Inc. thanks everyone in advance. Thank you.
Formal invitations have been delivered to candidates who have publicly declared their intention to participate in the by-election. The DBF also calls on any candidate who has not yet received an invitation and wishes to participate to contact them via WhatsApp at 615-6924. The discussion will be structured as a public discussion moderated by Mrs. Kewana Fontaine Wilson and Mr. Matthias Peltier Jr., two respectable and highly experienced journalists who will engage with both candidates and members of the audience. Dive Dominica Limited hosted Dominica's first Women's Dive Day at the Anchorage Pool. The observance and recognition of this day marked a significant step towards creating a more equitable gender balance in the water sports industry in Dominica and exposing women to the numerous opportunities available in water sports as a career path or adventure hobby. Participants' ages ranged from 10 to 60 years and each left with a certificate of completion. Through a collaboration with Fine Foods Inc., participants were offered blue water and some received Paddy branded gifts as a souvenir of their first dive experience. Achievement Learning Center, ALC, in Dominica has received a donation of assistive technology devices from A Better World Canada through the IT for Dominica Foundation. The donation includes noise-canceling headphones, pressure vests, adaptive learning resources, and other assistive technologies designed to support students with diverse learning needs. The equipment will improve individualized learning and help create a more accessible and inclusive classroom environment. ALC Executive Director Beverly LeBlanc expressed her sincere appreciation for the partnership and the positive impact the donation will have on students and their families.
These devices will make a meaningful difference in the lives of our students, from supporting sensory regulation through noise-canceling headphones and pressure vests to enhancing engagement and communication with assistive learning tools. This equipment will enable our teachers to provide more individualized instruction. We are excited to integrate these resources into our classrooms and continue building an environment where every learner can thrive.
The ALC says assistive technology is essential to creating inclusive classrooms where every child has the opportunity to succeed. The center thanked A Better World Canada and the IT for Dominica Foundation for their support, describing the partnership as an important step in advancing inclusive education in Dominica. ALC remains committed to working with partners who shared its vision of providing every child with the resources and opportunities to reach their full potential. And finally, in local news, Prominent Dominican businessman Macmillan, Mr. Mark John Baptiste, has died. Mr. Mark was one of Dominica's longest-serving petroleum retailers. He began his career with Esso in 1956 and in 1973 established Macmillan's all-in-one service station in Castle Comfort. Over several decades, he earned respect as a pioneering entrepreneur and was actively involved in the business community, including the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, the DIC. EmoNews extends sincere condolences to his family, friends, and the wider business community. May his soul rest in peace.
We begin regional news with an update on the ferry incident which took place in Guyana. The number of survivors rescued following the capsizing of the MV Barima has risen to 67. According to the latest official update, the rescued group includes 15 children, while an intensive multi-agency search continues by air and sea for those still unaccounted for. Emergency crews, government agencies, and private vessels remain deployed near the Pomeran River, where the ferry encountered distress during its Georgetown to Port Kaituma journey. In related news, Guyana's President Irfan Ali visited Mabaruma, where he met with survivors rescued from the MV Barima, their families, and relatives of those affected. He also visited survivors receiving medical treatment at the Mabaruma Hospital. The president reaffirmed the government's commitment to working closely with every affected family, pledging continued support and assistance as recovery efforts continue. Our hearts and prayers are with the families, praying for the safe recovery of every passenger and the crew member still missing at sea. The Tobago Division of Community Development and Social Protection has recognized participants who completed its Thinking for a Change program during a graduation ceremony in Scarborough. The Cognitive Behavioral Program helps reduce repeat offending by strengthening decision-making, emotional intelligence, and problem-solving skills. Graduates included probationers and children referred by the courts or their families. Officials say the initiative supports personal development and empowers participants to make positive contributions to their communities. The government of Montserrat has strengthened its marine conservation efforts through a week of stakeholder engagement focused on community participation. Activities included meetings with local fishermen, a public town hall, and a strategic session with the National Ocean Governance Advisory Committee to help shape future fisheries and ocean management policies. The initiative reflects a commitment to protecting Montserrat's marine environment through local input and sustainable conservation efforts. And finally, in regional news, Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew has welcomed the latest group of students participating in Project LEAD, a 6-week internship program aimed at developing future leaders. The students, made up of high school and first-year college participants, met with the Prime Minister at government headquarters before beginning placements in various government ministries and departments based on their career interests. The program provides hands-on experience in public service and is designed to equip young people with leadership skills while preparing the next generation of leaders in St. Kitts and Nevis.
In international news, Nicaragua's long-serving president Daniel Ortega said that the Central American country will no longer hold elections. Ortega, who has continuously held power since 2007, following an earlier presidential term in the 1980s, said the move will close off any path to the opposition, although he did not provide details about carrying out the ban. He accused the Yankees, referring to the United States, of interfering with elections in his country and said after this move, this will be no more.
There will be no more elections. There will be no more elections where they try to seize the government, to seize power.
Nicaragua's last election in 2021 was widely disputed after Ortega detained opponents and business leaders and criminalized dissent. Last year, Ortega further consolidated his power through a series of constitutional reforms that included naming his wife Rosario Murillo as a co-president and extending the presidential term to 6 years. He and his wife control virtually every aspect of the government, including the armed forces and the judiciary. The UN Human Rights Council has accused Ortega and Murillo's governments of transforming the country into an authoritarian state and systematically violating human rights. In 2018, Ortega responded to widespread anti-government protest with a crackdown in which more than 300 people were killed. A massive fire broke out at a shopping center in the northeastern Ukrainian city of Sumy after it was struck by Russian drones. Ukrainian authorities said emergency crews rushed to the scene to battle the blaze, but were forced to temporarily suspend firefighting operations as additional drones remained overhead, raising fears of further attacks. The incident is the latest in a series of drone strikes targeting civilian infrastructure amid the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Officials have not yet confirmed whether there were any casualties, while emergency services continue to assess the damage and monitor the area for further threats. And that's it for international news. Sporting highlights coming up next.
From the outside.
Sit down, my girl. Sit down.
Tina coming up on the outside.
Looky. Oh. No.
In sports news, there was no shortage of excitement in the latest round of the Dominica Football Association Division 1 League, with plenty of goals scored across both Tier 1 and Tier 2 competitions. In Tier 1, East Central Football Club and Fokole United both secured important victories to strengthen their positions in the standings. Meanwhile, in Tier 2, Marigat United FC, Police FC, and Kensbury United all emerged victorious after impressive performances in their respective fixtures. The DFA Division 1 League continues this week as teams battle for valuable points in their quest for promotion and league honours. In cricket news, the biggest party in sport returns to the home of party cricket from August 20th to August 25th. As Antigua and Barbuda once again welcomes the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League to the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium for 6 unforgettable days of exciting cricket, carnival energy, culture, and camaraderie as passionate fans come together under the lights for electrifying matches that only the Twin Island Paradise can deliver. The Caribbean Premier League will feature Antigua and Barbuda Falcons in 4 exciting home matches against St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, Trinbago Knight Riders, Guyana Amazon Warriors, and Barbados Tridents at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, with every game beginning at 7 p.m. Chief Marketing Officer for the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, Shamin Spencer, says sports tourism continues to be an important component of Antigua and Barbuda's tourism strategy to diversify visitor experiences, extend visitor stays, encourage group travel, and strengthen year-round tourism demand. Tickets for CPL 2026 matches in Antigua and Barbuda are available through the official CPL website, the official ticketing platform, Ruby's service stations, and the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. In more cricket news, New Zealand claims series win over the West Indies after winning Sunday's match and having a 3-1 lead. Although the West Indies produced a heroic bowling performance, they were defied by captain Mitchell Santa's powerful innings and had to settle for a heartbreaking 1-wicket defeat to New Zealand in the 4th One-Day International. Santos scored a crucial unbeaten 34 to marshal the lower order and lead his side to 189 for 9 in 44.1 overs, in response to the home side's score of 188 at Kensington Oval. The win gives New Zealand an unassailable 3-1 lead in the 5-match series, with the final game to be played today. And finally, in tonight's sports news, Argentine captain Lionel Messi has thanked supporters for their unwavering support following Argentina's 1-0 defeat to Spain in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, admitting that the pain of losing will take time to heal. Messi congratulated the new champions while expressing pride in Argentina's achievements, noting that the team had reached back-to-back World Cup finals and once again united the nation through its performances. The football legend also thanked fans for their messages of support, saying their encouragement and the team's determination helped return Argentina to the world's elite. Although Messi did not officially announce his international retirement, the final has been widely speculated to be his last FIFA World Cup appearance. During the tournament, he became the competition's all-time leading goal scorer before eventually finishing with 21 World Cup goals. And that's all the sports news for this evening. We'll be right back with the weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service. This has been EmoNews Nightly Package for July 21st, 2026. I am your presenter, Soana Gordon.
And I am Michael Pierre. Remember, Restaurant Week continues in the beautiful Nature Isle.
Be sure to patronize participating restaurants to enjoy our delicious local cuisine.
Do have a lovely evening.